Welcome to practice. Today, a chair may be useful. We're going to do some sort of salute to the sun, and a blanket is always handy. But we're going to begin standing with the feet under the hip width parallel and the legs parallel. And close your eyes and feel the shape of your body, whether the shoulders are a little heavy. Does it feel like both legs are equally straight, or the weight is in both legs? And then begin to actively adjust to get an even feeling in your feet, to lift the front of the legs, the front of the hips, the belly, the breastbone, the top of the head. And notice the different feeling for the spine when you lift the front body. And then rolling the upper arms out and the palms in, and feel the effect on the rib cage and the shoulders. Bring the palms of your hands together and draw the shoulder blades down. Good. And opening your eyes and feeling that powerful stance, finding your breath. And we're going to do a little squat, just enough for your knees. Feel the shape of your spine. And we want to use all of the core of the body to really hold a powerful lengthening in the spine. It doesn't feel like you're crunching or there's no compression or pain. The powerful core of the body. Nice work. And then we're going to make a little forward bend, maybe just halfway, so your torso is parallel to the floor. Starting to stretch the back of the leg. So the hands stay pressing, and you can feel the shoulder blades flat against your back ribs, sliding towards the back weight. And breathing. Nice. Now keep the knees bent, and you're going to sit your bottom back into chair pose, just as much as your knees can cope with. So you can lift up a bit if you need to. Good. And then we're going to take the arms up by the ears. Utkatasana, also called powerful pose. And I like how much work you can feel happening to hold that length in the spine. The front of the thighs powerfully supporting the knees, parallel legs here. Breathing deeply. Good, press into your heels and come up, and then you're back into Tadasana. Good. I'm going to show you from the side. We're going to make that a little sequence with the breath. So find the breath, flow of breath. Hands in front of the heart. Bend your knees just as much as your knees are comfortable with. So always treating a knee injury, vulnerable knees, with respect and compassion. Okay, long back, powerful core. Forward bend, just enough to feel your leg starting to straighten and feeling the stretch of your hamstring, but not enough to make the bones of your spine pop up. Good. Sit the sit bones back towards the heels. Lift the torso. Lift the arms up by the ears. Draw the shoulder blades down. Powerful pose. Parallel feet. Parallel legs. Lift up. and Tadasana. Good. Hands in front of the heart. Press them. Shoulder blades down. Little bit of a squat. Now this is going to be testing because we're going to try and do the same thing but up on the balls of the feet. But see how you go. Lifting the heels, keeping the legs parallel. Forward bend. Really lengthening the spine. Good. Sit the sit bones back towards the heels. Try to keep the heels up. Try to keep the legs parallel. Beautiful. And then arms up by the ears. Parallel legs. Following the breath. And then heels down and lift up. Tadasana. Ooh, legs are really starting to feel vibrant. This time, arms out to the side. We're going to cross the right upper arm over the left. And if you don't quite touch your thumb or face your palms, caress your shoulders. Lifting the elbows, draw the shoulder blades down, looking up. Bending your knees and forward bend. Make your neck as spacious as you can. So draw the shoulder blades back and keep reaching the top of the head forward. We're going to sway the upper body a little from side to side. Following your breath. And back to center. Bend your knee and inhale and coming up. And then releasing. Arms out to the side. Left over right. So if you're not quite reaching to hold your hand in any way, caress your shoulders, shoulder blades down. Good. Otherwise, holding your thumb or facing your palms. But draw the, I say it again, the shoulder blades down so the neck is spacious. And then forward bending. Feel the bones of the spine. Embed them forward. Top of the head reaching forward. Enjoying the flow of breath. And then a little wave of the torso from side to side. And then back to center. Rolling up and unfurling your arm. Nice. Now we're going to take the arms behind, holding your wrists or forearms or your elbows, or even prayer position. It's the one that feels good for you in this moment. Opening the front of the chest, drawing the bones of the spine forward and forward bending again. Legs are as bent as you need them to be. We're trying to get the bones of the spine forward, the neck long, elbows reach back, and just straightening your legs as much as that stretch feels nourishing for you. So you're not forcing tightness into your lower back. Some people find it more effective to do one leg at a time, and others feel the need to do both together. Lift the kneecaps and following your breath. Bending your knees, rolling up. Release your arms. Take them overhead, looking up Urdhva Hastasana, and Tadasana. Good, let's take them behind again. So if you're in prayer position, you could do that again. If you had one forearm on the top, swap over so you're holding the other way around. Holding as far as you can so that the chest feels spacious. You're aware of that embedding of the spine into the front of the torso. Forward bend. Find your breath. Follow the spaciousness of the breath. So as you exhale, there's a little more room for the belly, a little more room. Maybe to stretch the legs. Soft with the hands. Feel how when you take the elbows back, the shoulders reach back away from the ears. The neck is longer. More spacious. Bend the knees and inhale and rolling up and up, looking up. And Tadasana. Nice work. Now, if you an awkwardness with touching the floor in your salute, with putting your hands on the floor and stepping forward and back on the mat, a chair makes it much more doable. So I'll use a chair for a couple of rounds and then see how I'm traveling. And you might like to too, or no need for it if you're comfortable with hands on the floor. Tadasana. Urdhva Hastasana. Uttanasana. If you're new to using a chair, just use it in a way that keeps your spine long, the bones of the spine embedding forward. You might be able to reach your forehead, maybe not. Good. Bring the left leg back. So we're in a little lunge, and what we're going to do is just work on straightening the front leg for a moment. Straighten and release with the breath. As you exhale, straighten. As you inhale, just let go. Replenish. Good. And then we're going to step the right foot back. So we're essentially in downward facing dog pose. Lifting the kneecaps, the sit bones. Letting the armpits open a little bit more. Good. And then we'll step the left foot forward. And again, with the breath, we're going to straighten and release that front leg. So your hands are on the floor. There, either side of the front foot. Beautiful. Make sure you've got room to step forward into Uttanasana. Standing forward bend. And then Urdhva Hastasana, arms overhead. And Tadasana. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, straighten up as far as you can on your arms. So straighten your arms, look forward, make a little back bend. Take the right foot back. This time we're going to bend the front leg. Really stand into your feet, and especially if you're using the chair, you've got to pay more attention to bringing the focus into the feet now, the legs. Because we're going to lift the torso, lift the arms, Virabhadrasana 1. So my stance is quite short, but just working on keeping your balance in your feet. Nice, strong leg. Lift the spine. You can drop the hips forward a little bit more. Now, a little bit different. We're going to bring the hands down in front of the heart. we're going to step forward and balance on the left leg. Now, if the chair's there, maybe you can bring your foot up onto the chair lightly. Maybe the chair's not there. You can have your foot raised in front of you, or even your tiptoes touching the floor if you need to for balance. Just finding your balance. Other shoulders hunched up from the tension of the action. Draw the shoulders down. Release your neck. Feel the length of your spine. Beautiful. Now, when you place your foot down, place it hip width and parallel. Hadasana. Urdhva Hastasana. Uttanasana. Lift up onto straight arms, look forward. Little back bend. Left leg back, left foot back, front knee bend. We're going to lift up into Virabhadrasana 1. I'm trying to press my back heel down. Organizing the lift of the spine, the shoulder blades down, looking up, feeling into your feet and legs. Good, you can drop the hips a little more now. Keep the back heel pressing towards the floor. Hands together in front of the heart. Step forward and balance on the right leg. Bringing the left foot in front. So if you have the chair, you can place the foot lightly onto the seat of the chair. Finding your balance. Relaxing that tension out of the shoulders. It's as though we're using the shoulders to lift the leg. Draw the shoulder blades down. Beautiful. And when you place your left foot down, hip width parallel. And that. Urdhva Hastasana. Uttanasana. Left foot back. Good. Right foot back. Downward facing dog pose. Plank position by bringing the shoulders forward, lifting the front of the hip bones, sending the tailbone towards the heels. Good. Downward facing dog pose. And left foot forward. Lunging position. Uttanasana. Urdhva Hastasana. And Tadasana. And second side for that one. Inhale, arms up. Uttanasana. Right foot back. Lunge position. Good. Left foot back. Downward facing dog pose. Broad shoulders. Feel the flow of your breath. Plank position. Shoulders forward. Bringing heels, hips, shoulders into one line. Descend the tailbone to the heels. Lift the front of the hips, lift the belly. So internal muscular support. Nice work. A downward facing dog pose. And right foot forward. Little lunge. And Uttanasana. And bend your knees and Urdhva Hastasana. Tadasana. Okay, I've warmed up a little, so I'm going to put the chair off to the side. But you can keep using it. So it really helps your balance, your alignment, your experience of the postures. Feet under your hips. Urdhva Hastasana. Uttanasana. We're going to take the right foot back now for a really long lunge. Nice. Drop your hips, lifting the breastbone. Gently place the right knee down onto the floor. Does that work on the chair? I'm just thinking about that. Good. Now we're going to take the pressure into the foot, the front foot and the back knee and foot, and we're going to lift the torso. So if this is troublesome with the knee on the floor, stay with your back leg straight. Make sure you've got your balance, feel into your feet. And we're going to lift the torso, arms up. Good. Bring the hands back to your support, chair or floor, and step the left foot back into downward facing dog pose. Now from here, we're going to do little hops, little jumps, and we're going to do them lightly towards the front of the mat. As many as you can fit, and then roll up. Urdhva Tadasana. Same sequence, left side. Inhale, arms up. And as you exhale, Uttanasana. Big step back with the right foot. Sorry, left foot. Left side. Dyslexic yoga teacher. Such a trouble. Beautiful. Nice long one. Okay, taking your left knee to the floor, if that's doable for your knee. Good. And then placing the top of the left foot down onto the floor. And we're going to lift the torso. So you can stay on both feet if that feels better for your knee. Otherwise, we're lifting up. Torso lifts, arms up by the ears, looking up. Anantasana. Arms back to your support. Step your right foot back, downward facing dog pose. And then little light jumps towards the front of the mat. As many as you can fit. When you get stuck or you run out of room. Roll up. Urdhva and Tadasana. Nice work. Now we're going to do Virksasana or tree pose. And if you're a little wobbly on your balance, having the back of the chair in front of you can be really useful because you can hold on with one set of fingertips. Standing with classic Tadasana, inside edges of the feet together. Just recalling, if we stand with the feet under the hips, parallel, very stable because no part of the body is wider than the feet. But if we stand with classic feet together, then there's a little more wobbling happens. Good. We're going to turn the right foot out and just get your balance. Feel the weight transfer to the left leg. Good. So the knee turns out as far as you can. I've put my heel on my ankle and my tiptoes on the floor so I can keep that position if I'm really too wobbly, or I could have my hand on a chair in front. Now you can test it out. I'm going to bring hands into Namaste. Test out if you can lift your toes off the floor. or indeed place your foot on your left leg, the inside of your left leg, either below your knee or above your knee. Now we're going to try it here with the hands in front of the heart, but just sway the torso a little bit from side to side, finding your balance. Be prepared to really let your foot and your ankle be moving to find balance. They don't want to be rigid, they need to be flexible. Beautiful. If you're going okay with that, try the arms up by the ears and even swaying a little from side to side. Ooh. Nice work. And then feet back together into classic Tadasana. Release your arms, feeling the length of the spine, and the relaxed feeling in your shoulders. Beautiful. Hands into prayer position and turn your left leg out so the toes face out. You can keep your heel on your ankle, your left heel on your right ankle, toes touching the floor. Maybe you can even place your foot on the inside of your right leg, under the knee or above the knee. But don't go further than you're able to balance. Even if there's lots of wobbling, you want to be able to hold your balance. So you need enough support to wobble but hold your balance. Or the shoulder blades. Nice. Let's try testing ourselves by swaying the trunk inside the trunk of our tree. Feeling the resilience of the ankle and foot. Good. If you're going okay with that movement, try with the arms by the ears. Asking too much of myself. Balance. Finding your foot, your right ankle really working to hold you up. And back to center. Let's put the feet under the hips and just really appreciate that stable, beautiful position for the joints. So the legs are parallel, the feet are parallel. The knees look straight forward when that happens. So when we walk, the joints are evenly working, not being worn out here or there. Tadasana. Nice. We're going to lay down now. You don't need your chair anymore. And laying down on your back, we're going to have the feet hip width and parallel and the legs bent. And hug your right knee. Any action where we ask the muscles of the body to do something creates tension. So there's a tension in the front of the hip, the thigh, to bring the leg in. And it's our body's wonderful protection mechanism that holds the tension there. Kind of ready for what the next movement is. But what we want to do is just let that go. We want to bring the thigh as close to the chest as your body will go to finding your optimum range of movement there. And not so much about pulling the leg in, but just making space, realizing that there's space. Okay, now the next part, try to keep your knee as close to your chest or your shoulder as you can. and bring the sole of the foot towards the ceiling, parallel to the ceiling. So we keep the knee in that optimal range of your movement. Not everyone can reach their foot here, so support your leg, maybe behind your thigh, wherever you can reach to. And again, just by making space, by allowing that space to be. All right, the trick now is to straighten that leg, maybe not all the way to straight, just to experience the stretch, but keep your knee close. So that you can find your breath and that intense experience of your awareness being right in the resistance. What is it that resists in the body to straightening the leg here? So we can all straighten our leg if we let the knee away, but we want to work in that deep resistance. Not by pushing or pulling the body into something that would be harmful or hurtful, rather exploring, being curious. Good. Now hold as much of a stretch as you're able, and left leg out to the side, so just let it fall out, and the right leg out to the side. And you might be able to re-straighten a little because different emphasis will be in the hamstring, more the inner fibers. Good. And I realize if you can't hold your foot, it's a little more awkward, but just supporting or even leggings are useful. You might have your pajamas on, whatever piece of clothing you can hold. Good. And then we're going to take the right leg across the body to the left, and you can even make a little bit of a scissor with like a crossing action with the other leg, the left leg. So the left knee goes right. You'll feel a nice broadening across the back of the hips, the sacrum. Good. But we try to keep the knee close in. We try to keep our intense stretch, intense but compassionate, or intense and compassionate. Feeling the flow of breath. Very nice. And then we're going to just let both legs lay down, just stretch them out just straight and let them feet flop out. Close your eyes and feel the difference between your left leg and your right leg. Such a treat for the hip joint, this posture. Supta Padangusthasana. Bring the legs back to bent, feet hip width parallel. Bend your left knee in. And find that space. Good. We're going to keep the knee into the chest. Bring the sole of the foot so it's parallel to the ceiling. Good, but find the space. And then start to straighten your left leg, but without letting the knee move away from that optimal range of movement. So it's an intense stretch. But we do that with compassion, with understanding, with the breath. Good. Now we're going to let the right leg or the knee, pull it down towards the floor on the right, and the left leg towards the floor on the left. And you might find there's room to re-examine that stretch. With the flow of breath, with an intention of ease in the body. Okay, and then left leg is going to go across your body now to the right. So you might swap your hands around, and your right knee can head left. So we get that scissor action of the thigh. And you might feel that lovely broadness in the back of the hips and across the sacrum with that action. Breathing deeply. Feeling compassion, appreciation. Beautiful. Both legs down now, out straight, and just let your feet flop out. And we're going to tuck the shoulder blades under, arms out by the side. Tuning in to the feeling of your legs. Bend your legs, and we're going to put the inside edges of the feet together and the knees together. Lift your hips, swing them right. I've got my arms out from the shoulders, and the hips are gone right, and then knees go left. If they don't reach the floor, that's where the blanket can come in handy. Blanket underneath. And your face to look over to the right. Just being passive here. Letting the body give in to the, could be awkward shape, could be delightful feeling. Bring your awareness to the whole core of the body, the pelvic floor, the belly, the sideways, the back, so that when you lift your legs, there's a lot of muscular support. So there's ease to the spine. Good. And then lift your hips and swing them left, and the knees go right. Looking over your left shoulder. Taking in the feeling. And then powerful support for your knees, your belly, the lower back. And then taking your blanket, and you're going to put that underneath your hip. Bring your feet into Baddha Konasana. Soles of the feet together, knees out wide. And your arms softly overhead, so you can have your elbows a little bit bent. Feeling the shape of the body. Where the joints can be spacious with the breath. Where the mind can be calm with the posture. Hmm. And gently bringing in your arms and your legs. The blanket out. And if you are able to practice your own shavasana, this would be a good place to do that. If, like me, you need to finish your practice, rolling to your right side and coming up to sitting. Hands in front of your heart. Take the feeling of the practice with you. Namaste.